Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much. It is a great honor to receive this recognition of my work and the important work that we do together as a community from PACT, an organization that I have tremendous respect for over the years. And I'm decidedly honored today also to be recognized with Steve Wesley and Mike Pfister and my dear friend Kathy Wheeler and the great work at Cadence. You know, as Maria said, I'm a teacher, and by trade, I love teaching, and I love working with my students and playing with words. And today we are recognizing. And if you look at the derivation of that word, it's called to see or to know again. To know again and to see. And you know, these tables were set by people we didn't see. And they'll be cleared by people we didn't see. And the food was prepared by people we don't see. And so many people in our community are the ones that we don't see. And PACT and its leadership raises that consciousness and that vision for us so that we do see those who are easier not to see. In Africa, the tradition of people walking and seeing each other, passing by on the roads, they say, "Hi, how are you?" And the response is not, "Oh, I'm fine, how are you doing?" The response translates into English is, "I see you. I see you." And PACT has helped us to be able to see a community that's not always successful. The test of justice in the land, the Hebrew prophets tell us, is how do you treat the orphans, the widows, and the aliens? The widows in our community today are the ones who are going to be sleeping at Georgia Travis tonight. The widows in our community today are lining up in every one of our community service food banks and food distribution programs in this community, more than we have ever seen in our community. The widows of today are sending their children to schools that aren't always helping them to be successful. And the orphans. Who are the orphans that we don't see? Who are the orphans that we need to know again? We need to recognize those children who do go to schools that aren't helping them to be successful. And we need to do something about those schools. And we recognize the over 100,000 children in our community who have dental caries, tooth decay, going to school with untreated tooth decay here in Silicon Valley. 100,000 children. We need to know that again. And we need to be able to see what are those solutions. And the aliens. Who are the aliens among us? They're the AIDS patients who are still dying of a disease and who we can do something about to help them to live. They're the immigrants. They're the immigrants who are the first to get bashed and the last to be supported, especially in economic times. The facts are very clear, and PACT helps us to see those facts. The facts are clear that the economy is in trouble. The facts are clear that people are losing their jobs. The facts are clear that we are losing our homes and our shelter. The facts are clear. My colleagues in the nonprofit sector, the needs are higher than ever and the contributions are lower. The need continues to go up, and the ability to serve people gets harder and harder every day. We are fortunate that the weather has been good. But think about when the weather changes in the next few weeks. The widows, the orphans, the aliens. The facts are really dismal today. But you and I are people of faith. And so the truth is what we really do move towards. That vision of truth which says, we have all that we need because we have each other. And then in the end, we will be okay. We will be taken care of. And it's when we confuse the facts and the truth that PACT and community organizers and people of faith give us vision and clarity of path. Maria mentioned my mother. She was not somebody who asked her children to volunteer. She did not encourage us to be involved in the community. We never were invited to do anything. I had a very traditional Mexican parents who told you what your life was going to be and how you're going to do it in very clear terms. But my father was a bracero and came to this country and a documentation program. And the only thing he ever wanted was to make sure that his children received an education. My mother was involved in the community in many different ways. And she really is my vision in terms of looking at how do we understand goodness in our community, that really sense of truth. And I want to close in the words of one of my heroes, Mr. Rogers. I'm coming from early childhood. Mr. Rogers sets an incredible course of philosophy for me. And oftentimes he would ask people to do something that I would like to close with. And he wrote, "But how do we make goodness attractive? By doing whatever we can to bring courage to those whose lives move near our own, by treating our neighbor at least as well as we treat ourselves, and allowing that to inform everything we do." Who in your life has been such a servant to you? Who has helped you love the good that grows within you? Let's just take 10 seconds to think of some of those people who have loved us and wanted what was best for us in life. Those who have encouraged us to become who we are today. Just 10 seconds of silence. No matter where they are, either here or in heaven, imagine how pleased those people must be to know that you thought of them right now. That truth is that we have those fair-born mothers and fathers that came before us that taught us how to be servant leaders. The call now is to remember that truth as we go forth and continue to build our community together. Thank you.